So, had a pretty crazy weekend. This weekend, I worked with PK. I had 3 weddings this weekend, but none of them were mine. Cool thing about SCE is that we have 11 guys. 8 of us are full time. That's like all we do. So there's a lot of events to go around. So if there's a weekend where you're not working, postponements, whatever happened with me, you can work with other people. And I worked with Paul all 3 days. Me and him were on tour. It was a great ass time. And that's another reason why I love SE too, because you work with all different guys, you learn different things, everybody has their own style and whatnot. But besides all that, I try to utilize my time wisely. And what I did with Paul, I hope if he's watching this or whatever, but I take, when I work with the DJs, I'll take a risk or two. It's not my wedding. I mean, I'm not gonna you sabotage it, but if it's not my wedding and I'm mixing, maybe I'll play a song that it's 50-50, right? And I wanted to share a couple of those songs with you guys. So we're going to start today's show with a little music segment, right? So I'm going to go into my little music thing, right? We got the fire, get it? Because it's like new fire and stuff. It's like new fire. And I want to share with you guys a couple songs that I took risks on. And I'm going to be honest with you, there's 4 of them, and all 4 fucking worked, okay? So before you start, judging me, before you start, how could you do that? It's somebody's wedding day, okay? It wasn't that. They were risks. I mean, when you hear the song, you're like, oh my God, I never thought of playing that. Or you might have played it before. I mean, who knows? But I had backup plans, okay? And that's another thing. So when you take a left turn, when when you're doing a risk, when you're playing a song that's risky at a wedding or anywhere in general, always have a backup plan. Never just play it, hope it works. Then if it doesn't work, you're sitting there, oh shit, what do I play next? What do I play next? You know what I mean? Always have a backup plan. And I had a backup plan for everyone. But anyway, we'll start at the top. So the first song was Panic at the Disco. I Write Sins, Not Tragedies or something. I Write Sins, Not Tragedies. Is that the name of the song? You know what I'm talking about. Look, when this shit came out, I think it was the late 2000s, because I had a 3-week stint with my brother plumbing back then. It was 2008. He needed help, and I oh my God, I'll never do hard labor again. But I remember it being on the radio every fight. Imagine a pace in the pew in the church. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, so that shit went off. There's a great Ragoza edit out there. Shout out to DJ Ragoza from the Northeast. I think he's from Massachusetts. He has an acapella out edit, and it worked great. Second song, also in the rock category, Last Resort by Papa Roach. Cut my life into... You know what I'm talking about? That shit, right? Obviously clean. Went the fuck off. I added it to my crates. I'm playing that. If it's a rock crowd, right? If it's the right crowd and, they like rock shit and you're mixing in different stuff, everybody knows this song. But, if they're into any type of rock, that shit will go off. Play that shit, DJs. Trust me. Third, and the second to big. I'm ordering this by risk, by the way, because to me, Panic at Disco is on the radio every 5 seconds. So that was risk, but minimal risk. Papa Roach, everybody knows it, but risky. You better know what crowd you have in front of you, right, before you play that, because you can get some people just turn around, just for real, dog. You're really playing this shit right now. You know what I mean? All right, so a little more risky, right? The last 2 are pretty risky. Number 3, I played. You Can Call Me Al by Paul Simon. Now, this is something I got from Digital Dave. I heard a podcast, right, because he's going to be on later today. I heard a podcast with him on it. I think it was with Mike Walter and Joe, but I think it was their podcast. And he was talking about different songs and stuff. And he's like, yeah, with the right crowd, you can drop You Can Call Me Out, and that shit will work. And it did. And it's got to be an older crowd. My mom talks about this song. I played this song in front of my mom, and this will put it in perspective for me. She's like, man, it was such a big deal when that song came out. It was the mid-'80s. Saturday Night Live was hot. And she said that Chevy Chase was in the music video. And we loved that song. We bopped to that song for a whole year because, Chevy Chase was in the video. It was just a good, vibe and yada, yada, yada. And it was a big deal in the mid-'80s, apparently. So if I got a crowd with anybody around my mom's 60, so anywhere around her age, you know what I mean? Late 50s, early 60s, maybe mid 60s. And they're all dancing or whatever. That's something that you can pull out of your hat out of nowhere. And obviously I'm quick mixing all this shit. Obviously I'm not playing the entire song. I'm not waiting for the bass solo of You Can Call Me Out. That shit's long as hell, right? It's a 5-minute song, but you play the best parts, and whatnot, and you know how to mix it out correctly. Works fucking great. Last but not least of my risks this weekend that went off. All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey. It gotta know. That's all Demanzo. It gotta know. It gotta know. Now, I didn't pull this out of nowhere because that takes crazy balls, right? Because, you got your Christmas haters. You got your you got your people that love Christmas. You got them who don't like Christmas at all. You got people that don't celebrate Christmas, all that. So, you got to know all that shit ahead of time, I feel like. But it was a risk because, all right, so what happened was I was mixing and this girl came up and was like, oh my God, you have to play All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey. The bride will love it. Trust me, it's like her favorite song of all time. Now, I always take drunk people with a grain of salt, right? They could be talking about one instance, like what the hell do they know? And this girl wasn't in the bridal party either, so she wasn't like in her circle, So that's where the risk was. It's like, all right, you gave me a tip. I would love to just drop this out of nowhere. This would be hilarious, right? But what are you referring to? Do you really think, do you really know her, right? Like, do you really like how, so that's where the risk was, but I had a backup plan. I was going to go into Shout if it didn't go off. So I literally had Shout just like chilling in the prepare folder just in case. And I dropped it and it went off crazy. So I don't know. That's like a Christmas song is like so hard to judge. Like that's like one thing where it's like, you can't go by age. You can't go by like the people, like anybody and everybody could love Christmas and celebrate it and would jam to a Christmas song in the middle of the year or hate it, so that's a big risk. I heard a story I think it was in Lancaster something that someone that they saw Four Color Zach and he played that same exact song and it was like June or July or something. And it went off. So like, I don't know. Maybe it's a thing. Maybe that's something we should start doing, DJs. Maybe we should like, start dropping holiday songs in the middle of the year. That could be like the ultimate left turn. I don't know. But just want to share that stuff with you guys. Write down the songs and whatnot if you want. A lot of cool stuff. I want to do this every week. Kind of just like open you guys up to like different music, different songs I'm trying, new songs that are coming out. I don't have any new, I worked on a new list, but I'm going to give you guys some stuff next week and I'm going to give it another week and whatnot and really like refine it and whatnot. That way we can just kind of keep our sets fresh together. You know what I mean? As I play shit and it works, I'll tell you, and if I play something and it bombs, I'll tell you and I'll try and explain why I think it bombed and all that. And we kind of work it out and, you can learn from my mistakes and learn from my successes, right?